Here's a quote. No one says this quote. The best thing about planning your project is that once you have the plan, it's so easy. Everything falls into place and nothing changes. Yeah, that's why I have down there, like, said no one ever. No, that's not how it works. We don't create plans and then expect nothing to change. Maybe on your first project you do. Maybe when I was brand new, I did that. I don't remember thinking that, but I may have. We never know, right? But we make plans and we seek to follow them because they teach us what we are trying to do, how we are wanting to do it, when we expect things to be completed. They give us something to measure by. And when things change, and they will, having a plan in place helps us assess the impact of the change and how to proceed with the change. Change is inevitable. Having stress and anxiety about it as the project team is not inevitable. We really want to acknowledge changes and have some kind of a good process. You don't have to have a complicated process. It is going to depend. If you are with me right now and you work in, defense or aerospace, you're going to have more complicated processes. If you make medical devices, you're going to have more complicated processes. If you, make food and drug products, it's going to be more complicated, and we want it to be. When possible, simple is the way to go. We want the ability to identify proposed changes. What you'll think about now, if you are creating a change process for your project, if your organization doesn't have one, this is a good, I'll say, checklist of things to consider. So identify proposed changes. Who can make the suggestion? And this will depend on your organizational culture. How much time is it going to take? What is it going to add to the budget? What about our testing? Does it impact quality? Will it change our communication plan? How about training? What about our documentation? Then we want the right group of people to review the change, the impact, and say yes or no. And when I say the right group of people, so frequently your project might have a steering committee or a project change board. On large projects, we don't want it to be just one person, because one person could be making decisions that's impacting the whole rest of the organization, right? So on large, complex projects, we want a few of the top people, and perhaps with representation, across the organization, making decisions. Then after it's been, either approved or denied, negotiate and resolve conflicts of change, condition, and costs. So if there's a disagreement, think about that. Maybe the change committee, the steering committee, looks at it and says, we only agree with this if you can do it within 10%, within a 10% increase. And so maybe that's more of a back to the drawing board kind of change request. We like this, it's a good idea. We are only willing to give it 10% more money. And then you might give it back to the team to read for some new analysis. Communicate changes to parties affected. Assign responsibility for implementing the change. So who's going to add it? If it needs testing and review, who's going to do that? Adjust the schedule and the budget, and track all the changes that are to be implemented, because now they are part of your plan for your project.